Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, has captured the imagination of the world with his defiance in the face of a Russian invasion. There's no doubt his steady resolve has left a powerful impression on his people. Recent polling found 91% of Ukrainians approve of his leadership during this crisis and made him a sort of folk hero abroad as well. But perhaps what's most interesting about Zelensky is just how untraditional a path he took to this moment in history. Volodymyr Zelensky was born in 1978 in the Ukrainian city of Kryvyi Rih, a working-class mining and factory town that fell in hard times during the twilight of the Soviet Union. As a young man, Zelensky poured much of his energy into comedy. He and a group of friends founded a comedy troupe and eventually found their way into competing in KVN, a long-running Soviet improv and sketch comedy program that also staged events at college campuses and other locations. Their success with KVN allowed the group to transform their team from a comedy troupe to its own entertainment studio. In 2005, it launched Evening Quarter, a topical sketch comedy series similar in spirit to Saturday Night Live. Zelensky's star profile continued to grow. He had a stint on the Ukrainian version of Dancing with the Stars, which he won. And he landed roles in some big-budget Ukrainian feature films like Love in the Big City, Office Romance, and 8 First Dates. He also served as the Ukrainian voice of Paddington Bear. Most notably, before Zelensky became an improbable president in real life, he also played an improbable president on a popular domestic TV series, Servant of the People. There, Zelensky played a public school teacher whose impassioned rant against Ukraine's corrupt political leaders goes viral, catapulting him to the presidency.
Достало это.
Петрович, ну чё ты?
А почему наши политики каждый раз приходят к власти и совершают одни и те же ошибки? Да потому что они охуенные математики. Знают только, как отнимать, делить и приумножать свое. Вот и все.
Петрович, я сроду тебя таких слов не слышал. Чё ты завелся?
Потому что достали все эти вот здесь, понимаешь? Теперь, они заставляют детей будки ваши строить. Знаешь, почему у нас жизнь собачья? Да потому что мы свой выбор с тобой начинаем в будках. Понятно? А выбирать-то не из кого. Из двух выбираем меньше. И так 25 лет подряд. Здесь знаешь, что интересно? В этот раз ничего не поменяется. Знаешь почему? Потому что ты, мой батя, я, мы снова выберем пи***аса. Да потому что да, понятно. Конечно, он пи***ас, да ну лучше его, те-то хуже.
Вась, да пойдем грябнем, у меня заначка есть.
Главное, приходят эти потом пи***асы власть. Пи***ят и пи***ят, пи***ят, и пи***ят. Ударения разные, смысл один и тот же. И всем понимаешь, тебе мне нам всем не на маленький, понимаешь, а здоровый такой, пришел нам всем. А меня бы на одну неделю туда отправили, чтобы, простой учитель жил как президент. А президент этот, жил как учитель. Это я тебе, как учитель истории, говорю. Хотя тебе пи***цы.
It offered a real-life roadmap for Zelensky himself to do the same, which he did. In 2019, he rode a wave of public discontent and some savvy social media-driven campaigning to become the 6th president of Ukraine. Prior to 2022, the most notable moment of Zelensky's presidency had been the now infamous 2019 phone call that led to President Trump's first impeachment. At the time, President Trump was delaying military aid to Ukraine unless Zelensky promised to have his government investigate Hunter Biden's ties to a Ukrainian energy company. A sadly ironic fact, given that 3 years later we now know so much more about how Ukraine needed that aid in the face of Russian aggression. After Russia's invasion began, Zelensky's been widely praised for remaining in Kyiv with his citizens on the front lines rather than fleeing to safety, as some suggested he should have. Many media and political experts have specifically praised his selfie-style video updates, which forego the usual trappings of formal presidential addresses in favor of something more intimate, authentic, and presumably reassuring for the people living through this same experience. The current conflict is just a few days old, and much more uncertainty and sacrifice lies ahead for Ukraine and its people. But it's clear President Zelensky has risen to the occasion early on. The latest surprise